Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
Highland Springs.
The way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
I'll be watching other teams. I'll be like, damn, I wish I could do this shit. No, my Bill can't do none of that shit.
Remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Chris Ivory with his first carry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A very solid gain of 27. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Let's go! On second down, Ivory. Pretty move. And he'll Get it down on the play to the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here we go. Green, 35.
On first down, this is Ivory. Room here to run. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to split right there.
A running play now for Ivory. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, it didn't go their way, did it?
The defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Tavecchio puts this one through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
First carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get this up to about the 40. David Emerson able to bring him down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got the completion to Strong. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out.
Let's go. Green.
Back to throw. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Going to throw right side here, complete. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Let's go. Green.
1st down. Here's the run with Martin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On the ground, this is Kamara. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants ready to come out now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll give it up to Ivory. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Now look at 56! Lucky 56!
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So instead of trailing into the lockers, they grab the lead with the clock reading all zeros before intermission.
I would love to go into the locker room with them because right now they're riding a nice wave, aren't they? They're feeling good about themselves. But I know the coach is going to be talking to about calming down, taking it easy. We've got a whole second half, but use the way we finished the first one to start the second.
Lutz good on the extra point. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Ravens who have the...
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. To Vecchio now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A first carry down for Alex Collins. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they're all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter.
I thought you was grinding.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right
idea. What is Sherman on? That's at the 3. Is he on a point forward or something?
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Set. Green 35.
They give it to Ivory. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
You know what Sherman Field is?
3. And now it's 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's going to loft one, and that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play.
And he had 23 that game or something like that?
45 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They'll look to throw here. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alex Collins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have moved out in front. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touch.
All the lights in your house, yeah. And then just don't answer the door. I'm sorry, Reese's. First man to walk on the moon. It will be a hell of a ride. This job's so difficult, we're gonna have to start from scratch.
We need to fail down here so we don't fail up there.
This isn't just another trip, Neil.
We have serious problems.
You think you're coming back?
5, 4.
It comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance.
There goes Sterling Shepard past the 20. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these.
And this is going to be intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Looking to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, they run. Again, it's Ivory. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And this one is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Back to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. He's back to throw. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, They might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. They'll set up to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down. Running for it. Here's Martin. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though.
So for the Saints, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco.